I don't
Darkness
know.
surrounds me.
Yeah,
Darkness surrounds me.
you're telling me you're in the dark now? What's up, buddy? You okay?
The only sense that is being stimulated right now is my sense of hearing.
The ears.
I am
Yeah.
Yes, my ears are being stimulated by you. So every subtle movement that you make will be picked up and subtly tickle the inside of my very sensitive ear holes.
Oh yeah. What am I doing with my tongue right now?
Ooh, ooh, I don't know,
That's
but I
right.
like it. Yeah.
Ew.
I'm gonna be honest right with you.
You know,
Being
stop
in
guessing.
being in total darkness does make that hit a lot harder. This might be how I do this from now on. I might have zero reference material. I
You
mean,
might be
it's not
fully
like I'm.
locked in. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the most compelling conversation I've ever been in my life because it feels like my life might end at any moment. It feels like someone might just come up and shoot me in the back of the head.
Yeah. You're gonna start feeling like you're floating. Um. Yeah. Just nothing to focus on but pure content.
No,
I don't need
I'm
to do
in
that
a.
because that's kind of the level I'm always working at. But
Well, I got whatever
performance
crutches I can have.
enhancers, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever I need to attain your level, because I have basically been acting like I'm unemployed, and you are unemployed. So I have spent the last what has it been, almost exactly 2 weeks or a little under 2 weeks since we last recorded.
Has it been even a full 2 weeks? Probably. I don't know.
Probably been 10 days or something. I've spent that time either working or watching movies. That is it. That is all I have
Yes.
done.
Well, you also
I have
said you went to the gym a lot. So
that's working. It's work.
okay, fair.
I'm working on something. That's working on my demons, trying to become a better, more realized person. This is a self-help podcast now. Do you have anything you'd like to discuss, or should I just blast right into the movies that I've seen?
I don't know, not really. I've just been I've been gardening more, and I went up to the lake to get my fish on. Actually, before I went to the lake, my dad was like, "Can you help me and my friend demolish a deck?" Um, and I was like, "Sure, yeah, why not?" Him and his friend from college own like an apartment in like a suburb of the town they went to college in, because his friend's a landlord, and I don't really know why my dad was into it. I don't know, just as a thing to do, I guess. But yeah, they were taking apart this shitty old deck, and I drove up there. I left late. I ended up getting there way later than I said I was going to, and I got there. It was like 1 or 2 p.m. and they had done about 2/3 of the top layer of the deck. So like the top boards. So there was still the remaining, surface of the deck, and also everything underneath. And it was so fucking hot, and these two 60-year-old dudes were dying. And I got there, and I was like, you want to, when you've been driving, you want to get out and you want to do physical activity because you've been sitting still. And also I had taken an Adderall, so I demolished this fucking deck. I annihilated this thing, the entire thing, in like 45 minutes by myself. Did he leave? Did he fucking leave?
No, I've been listening. I have my headphones on.
Oh, I heard a door like open and close.
No, I just let my cat in. I've been listening to your story.
Okay.
You Wreck-It Ralphed it.
I went psycho on this thing, and
It must have felt so good.
it did until I got done, and I started feeling really lightheaded, and my limbs were tingling.
Oh, I love
and
that.
I was like, uh-oh. And I just sat in my truck and blasted the AC for 10 minutes, like trying to see if it was getting better or not. And I was like, I probably should have eaten something today, and also not taken a lot of Adderall, and also like taking a break. I looked at the weather beforehand. I thought it was like 80 degrees. I was like, God damn, it feels so fucking hot. And I find out afterwards it had been 90 degrees.
God damn, boy.
I had been hitting this thing with a crowbar, and Uh,
you wait, you were Half-Life 2ing this?
well, so the way
Whack, whack.
the way the boards underneath are joined, it's like, they're joined with these like 90-degree like metal. I don't know what the word for them, but like they were screwed to it, but it was so old and rotted that I just basically had to hit it like in the joint once with the crowbar, and then you could stick the crowbar in and lift the whole thing out and just like twist it to get it to fall on the ground, and then we could toss it in the pile. So I was just doing that over and over and over again, and it was awesome. But then I thought I was going to die, so I felt pretty cool doing that. And then my dad and his friend, like, I got some good like dad lore, as the kids call it, because my dad, I forgot about this, but my dad was like really into hockey in high school. He played hockey. I think it was high school. I assume he didn't play hockey in college. So they were talking about that, and then my dad's friend shows up, and like he shows up in a truck. I don't know why he was just like kind of stopping by to say hi or something. But all these guys, they look like they're just like 60-year-old guys, like shorts, t-shirts, sunglasses, baseball hats, and I'm just looking at them all stand next to each other, and they're just so. The guy who shows up, he looks exactly like an older version of Mark Zuckerberg, but like a sleazeball, like blue collar guy version. Is so funny how much he looks like Mark Zuckerberg. But they're talking about hockey, because I think the guy who showed up like used to also play hockey in the same area or something. And my dad's telling him about the lake that we go up to, and he's like, oh, Mike so and so, and my dad's like, no, who's that? And he's like, oh, he used to play for this team. And my dad's like, wait a second, like is he like fucking crazy? And the guy's like, oh yeah, crazy son of a bitch. And he goes like, oh, I think I know that guy. He used to get hookers and beat them up in our town. Like he goes, I know a lot of bad stories about that guy. Yeah, he used to be like, yeah, we're gonna go get hookers, and then we're gonna beat.
Do you hear my
up.
cat rubbing on my microphone right now?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay, great. Noise reduction is doing its thing.
But yeah,
wow.
so he found out that a crazy guy who may have used to beat up hookers lives across from him on the lake. And then he goes like, yeah, that guy was crazy. He wasn't as bad as my rival though, Billy so and so. He checked me in the shoulder so hard I can still feel it 40 years later. So, and then we're taking apart the deck and we're done, and then they have to get a dumpster service to come pick all the shit up. So they arrange, my dad's friend finds a guy with a dumpster who will come by, and the guy shows up, and he's probably our age, and they're talking to this guy, and they bring up like, yeah, we know each other from college, but I used to play hockey around here. And the dumpster guy goes, when did you play hockey around here? My dad goes, oh, around like 83. And the guy goes, oh, you probably know my uncle, Billy so-and-so. My dad goes, that motherfucker. So it was the guy's nephew. Everyone in this fucking town knows each other. Everyone used to play hockey with my dad. So that it's just, it's not even that small of a town. There's like thousands of people, and it is, so that's weird.
I don't know. That is very funny. Yeah. Your dad's in an A24 movie right now. I'm sorry to tell you. He's he's an Ethan Hawke character in an A24 movie where he is going to have to investigate that house across the lake and figure out that there are
drive past there.
And it's like, oh, there's women screaming in the basement. There are whores being killed right now in that basement.
In your area, whores being murdered.
Whores in your area want to be murdered.
In your area?
Yeah,
more likely than you think.
Ugly bitches need to be killed too.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that's good stuff. Yeah, my dad is doesn't have that gift of gab to where he'll ever say anything.
So he definitely has some. You got to get some wild stories out of him, while he's still around, because
I've gotten
he's
a
got
little
some quality stuff.
I've got a little bit from my uncles, the mom's side, about him. Like a little bit of.
Oh, you cut out. Hello. Oh, his internet went out. Did my internet go out? No, I'm still uploading. Yeah, it's Ethan's in the middle of a solar storm right now. Please understand, everybody. Yeah, we're not dropping any frames to YouTube, folks. This is Mexican internet. This is just how it operates. It needs to take a break every once in a while. It has a mandated break period it needs to abide by, or else it starts throwing the packets all willy nilly. You can't let that happen. This is longer than the typical outage. I'm gonna be real. Oh, and he dropped out of Discord. Hello.
Oh,
Hey.
great. When did I cut off?
Like a minute ago.
Oh, well, my uncle on my mom's side said, yeah, your dad used to get up to some serious antics, specifically at the cabin. So I don't know exactly
yeah.
what antics you could really get into at the cabin other than just getting wasted. So probably nothing that interesting.
Yeah, I guess.
But I'll see. I'm going to see that uncle while I'm up there. I'll pry some out of my mom too. My dad was sober for a lot of his life, and he apparently would go around to all of the bars in our area and just drink a lot of soda and get the high score on all the Space Invaders machines.
Oh my God. Did he have a leather jacket? Like he was a...
My dad does have a leather jacket. Yeah, I'll ask if he wore it. It would actually be really sad if he was doing this at that time because he would have been too old to be doing that, but whatever. That's how you get a wife that's 7 years younger than you, I guess, is
True.
you go fucking... it wasn't Space Invaders, it was Asteroids, so a little bit earlier. Yeah, well, that's good stuff right there. Some dad lore.
You told a story of them two. They in college they drove like in it wasn't a blizzard, but they said it was an extremely cold night. They drove from their dorm to my dad's house to get the handle of a beer bong because they were too cheap to buy one, and they were both hammered. And my dad told the other guy to put his seatbelt on, and as he reached over, he just pulled the steering wheel with him, and they went into a ditch, and immediately a cop showed up. And
you're telling me that your dad, that was a degenerate alcoholic, got himself
in the
into
80s in a rural college town? Yeah, I can't believe it. And the cop like immediately knew how hammered they were, and I think he said the cop just drove him back to their dorm, and he got a ticket, and the ticket was $25.
That's how it goes.
Even at the time, I was like, "That's a great deal."
Cops would. I mean, that's cheaper than a taxi. Cops used to just dump you off at your parents' place and be like, it punish them.
Yeah.
So your dad was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
He goes to AA and stuff now.
No, he doesn't. I don't think he's actually going to AA meetings anymore.
Oh, okay. He got it figured out.
He's too busy. I think he just does. Yeah. I think he just likes.
Doesn't have time to get wasted.
He just likes ice cream sandwiches.
Is everyone's dad an alcoholic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I just want to make sure. My dad is. So I just wanted.
We are both if you look at the definition of an alcoholic,
not even close. Yeah. Oh, I'm so squarely.
Like if you drink for the purpose of getting drunk, that means you may want to talk to some. It's like it's a question of, are you a degenerate alcoholic or a functioning alcoholic? That's the question. Oh yeah. And my dad was pretty functioning, I think.
Oh, okay. I don't know. But he quit anyway.
He was getting business loans and stuff. Yeah.
Getting business loans.
That's
great.
You need those for a business usually, I think.
Yeah, or you just lie about having money. You ever thought about that? You just be like,
you can't buy things by lying about having money. You need if you want to buy a kitchen full of pizza making equipment, you need to either have it or you need a loan.
The great lie, the credit card.
Yeah.
That's the greatest lie of all. I guess everyone's dad is an alcoholic. That's crazy. Or they're sober. It's one or the other. Those are the two. It's either your dad is an alcoholic or they're sober.
Ugh, I mean, having an alcoholic dad is one thing, but having an an always sober dad, ugh, like that's like having a dad who's like, "Ooh, I think I got drunk once. I felt weird. I didn't like it." Like, "Ew, dad, what the fuck?"
Yeah, Mormon dad. Oh my god.
Weirdo.
Yeah, I have Mormon family, so I could speak to this. They're weird. They're
That's
weirdos.
different. Like that's like because that's a religious thing. Whereas like if you're just like sober and you've always been sober, that's just like has some weird element of not trusting yourself, which is kind of like it's off-putting. You know what I mean?
Isn't that the same thing? Isn't that the
No.
same thing? It's basically the same thing.
No.
If you're putting yourself in the hands of religion, it's because you don't trust yourself.
No, religion. No, in Christianity, the reason you don't drink is because it's like you're taking something that's good, which is your mind and your brain,
Which is booze. Which is booze.
Yeah. No, and you're degrading it, and you're making it like work not as good, and that's
Yeah.
It's not desirable.
I'm
Whereas if you're
I'm-
just like, ooh, I don't know what would happen. It's like saying, oh, don't leave me alone in a room with a bunch of high school girls. Who knows what I'll do? Ooh, you're like it's like. What do you
Well,
mean?
hold on. Let me let my cat out and consider the things you said. Now you want to go back out? Fucking cat. Come on. Oh man. Speaking of high school girls, okay, so I have been on a movie watching bender. So
You've been in the movie zone.
I've been solving my wounds with
Is that a phrase? Solving?
salving. Yeah,
Was
it's like
it
you're putting self.
SALV?
SALVING, salving, self.
Oh, I've never heard that.
I believe so.
Oh, it just means soothe. Oh, okay.
Yeah, salving my
Apply
wounds.
salve to.
Yeah,
What is
this is about the third time this week that I've been fucking called on my called
Old
on
English.
but yeah, my oldie English. Okay, boring time. Here we go. We're gonna grind these out. Okay, movies I've seen. I went and saw the new Mission Impossible movie. I'm not going to say anything too great of detail for you. It's not going to be in theaters by the time I'm there, dog.
Oh, I didn't even know it was in theaters.
Yeah, I will go see it. If it is in theaters, I will go see it with you while I'm there.
No, we gotta see. What was that other thing we had to see?
Fantastic 2.
Yeah, I don't know about Fantastic. We should just watch 2015 Fantastic again instead of whatever.
Why not? We have some stuff we need to play the classics at some point. There's a bunch of stuff we got to go back to. But saw the new Mission Impossible movie. Not going to go into too great of detail. The first hour is a complete disaster. I mean,
I've never heard you say a single negative thing about these movies.
The first hour of this movie is an utter disaster, and then it won me back by the end of the movie, which is it's actually incredible. I've spoken to several people about this that have had the exact same experience of I can't believe that a movie that is so bad at the beginning to the point where you're like, should I just walk out, ends up being a good movie. So that's remarkable.
I mean, if you're talking about the first hour, that's only the first third of the movie. So
exactly, that's the thing, is that the movie's 3 hours long. So the first hour can be bad, and the next 2 hours can be amazing, and then you're like, oh, okay, great. And then I also saw the 28 years later.
You were talking about this, yeah.
I sent you a text message. I didn't even want to blow my load on it, but everybody in the world is coping. This is nothing but pure copium. This movie sucks. It is Garbo. It is.
Are you a fan of the first two films?
I enjoy 28 Days Later a lot. I've never seen 28 Weeks Later.
Oh.
Which is, I guess, this movie largely ignores. It really doesn't ignore. It doesn't really care about the events of either.
Yeah.
This movie sucks. Danny Boyle is a complete moron. I felt this way. I get it. I just don't think that translates into him being good at making movies anymore. Movies from Danny Boyle that I've liked. I like Trainspotting. I like 28 Days Later. You've seen Sunshine. I have not seen Sunshine. And
Oh man, I gotta watch
My
Sunshine.
understanding of Sunshine is amazing. What else have I seen? I've seen Steve
127
Jobs.
hours.
127 hours I've seen and I liked.
Okay,
Steve Jobs I saw and is
that doesn't sound.
bad.
Yeah.
But not just like normal bad. It's one of the bads that gets you thinking. Where you're like I think this person might actually be stupid. I think that the person making this movie actually may have lucked into making a bunch of good movies.
Right. Did you say? What did you say about Slumdog Millionaire?
Slumdog Millionaire is good.
Oh,
I
is
have
it
not
actually?
seen it since it came. I've not seen it since it came out though. So maybe we watch that while I'm in town, and we'll see if I still believe that's a good movie.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember. Even as like, how old would I have been? Like, I don't even know how I saw that when I was like 14. I was like, I don't know, this is a little. I also watched. I also watched Millions when I was like, like
Oh,
10 years old,
I haven't seen it.
because the premise is like, oh, a kid or a couple of kids find like millions of dollars. It falls off a train or whatever, and I was like, I'm interested in that because I'm a kid. And then it's all like, it's directed so Britishly, like
Yes.
it's like these montages and like this fast motion. Like I was just like, what the fuck is this?
I'm
As a
okay.
10-year-old
Okay.
kid.
Good. Okay. Yes. So 28 years later is just too British.
Oh yeah,
It's too British. It's simultaneously punk while being like a wide-eyed wonder kind of movie. It's punk while being shit. I had a good way of describing this, but I've had too many drinks at this point to really know. Um, it's earnest punk, and it doesn't work at all. It's like a music video. The movie is shot on iPhone,
yeah,
which I thought was going to mean iPhones are this good at this point to where you can just put a cinema lens on it, which they did. The rigs for these are really impressive. It's like they built this out with custom mounting so they could put cinema lenses onto the iPhone and really,
yeah.
But no, it turns out iPhone footage still looks like butt.
Yeah.
And it's distracting. It's distracting. It's not like in 28 days later where there's enough of a distinction between the fidelity that you're getting out of DV camera in 28 days later is so disparate from the quality of 35 millimeter film that you understand. Your brain can kind of process those as being different things. The footage in 28 years later is so close to looking like real cinema footage at times that when it breaks down in a way that it shouldn't, it just pulls you right out of the movie.
Does it feel like watching Collateral or Miami Vice?
Yes, 100%.
Oh,
Absolutely.
no.
Oh my
Another
god.
one of
Oh my
these.
god. Oh, it feels like watching Miami Vice. 100%. That is and not just in the technical, but also in the way that the story is structured, where you're like, there's no way they tried to jam like 4 different movies into this.
Yeah.
It's like there is a good movie in there somewhere that Danny Boyle completely ruined by being a moron. I believe this fully. Because I think at this point Alex Garland's filmography proves that he's a better filmmaker than Danny Boyle is, or at least at this point in time is a better filmmaker than Danny Boyle is. And Danny Boyle, I mean, I'm just going to dive deep into this here. Whatever. There's a sequence in the movie where 2 of the main characters are being chased along a causeway as they're attempting to run back to this island where their town is located.
Yeah.
And they're being chased by a massive zombie, right? It's a quote unquote alpha zombie. They've basically, the virus has acted like steroids on them. It's made them much larger. And it pulls back to this wide shot where the entirety of the Milky Way is in the shot and everything's purple and dreamlike and like, wow, that there's so little ambient light in this world that you can see the entirety of the solar system. How cool. And it looks like butt cheeks, dog. It literally looks like you could, like you or I, if we spent a week, we could do this.
Yeah.
And do it better and do it cleaner than they did it. It looks like shit. And I've heard, and I'm not even, like, the end of the movie is particularly egregious, where it goes into this wacky sort of world of the closest thing that I can think of is Power Rangers. Not a joke. If you watch
Oh
the
my
movie, you'll
lord.
get it. You'll be like, yeah, like this is Power Rangers nonsense. And apparently, it's some sort of reference to Jimmy Savile that I
What?
don't get because I'm not British. But
To his
yeah,
like whatever whatever he's famous for, or for the scandal.
whatever he's famous for, and
Okay.
I don't get it because I'm not British because
True.
I'm a real human being, and I was just perplexed and disgusted. I know that the movie that they were trying to make is like maybe a slightly above average, like zombie movie. Just like
Right.
there's a few extra themes in there that work, where it's like, you know, there's an idea of your parents lying to you and you grow, you know, there's a coming of age thing where you realize that your parents don't know everything and sometimes they hide things from you to protect themselves or to protect you from the world, and that's difficult to deal with. That's 25% of the movie, and that's the stuff that
Mhm.
works. And then the 75% rest of the movie does not work at all. So hated it. It's not necessarily because I think the movie is complete trash, but instead because I'm angry because the movie could have been good. So there's
Danny should have watched High School of the Dead. Get some
28 years
inspiration.
later. There's some sequences in there that look a little bit like High School of the Dead.
Nice.
28 years later, did not like it. Mission Impossible 10, 9, 8, whatever the
8,
fuck
I
it is.
think. Somehow it's
8.
only 8.
I did like. Um,
Nice.
with some caveats. In the wake of that, I then watched one more Tom Cruise movie. I watched The Color of Money. Which,
Oh,
have you seen The Color of Money?
Steven and I watched The Color of Money. Yeah.
What did you think of The Color of Money?
It's kind of boring. I mean, not bad, but like, I don't remember much about it honestly. And we only watched it a couple of years ago. You know.
Liked The Color of Money. It's definitely way more. This feels like prime Coke era Scorsese to me, where some
Maybe.
sequences would get a lot of his attention, and then some sequences would feel like he was coming down, and they would not get any of his attention.
Hmm.
Like some things would be shot so plainly and boring, and then there would be montages that are like absolutely cranked the fuck up,
Yeah.
where like, you know, clearly that's where a lot of his effort went. I did like it. It makes me want to watch The Hustler, which it is a sequel to.
Yeah. With,
Which
with
I
Paul, what's his name?
that's Robert Mitchum and then Paul Newman,
Newman. Yeah.
which I understand is supposed to be very good. So I liked that. I watched Return of the Living Dead, which is I'm just going to grind through these movies. Return of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah,
you
you recommended that. Oh, we were gonna watch that when you got up here, but you just went.
We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna
You're
watch it. We're gonna watch it again. I loved it. It's a punk zombie film. It is just a delight. Just watch it. Don't know learn nothing about it. Just watch it. It's got one of, if not the single greatest monster effect I've seen in my life.
Sick.
It's the best zombie effect or best monster effect I've ever seen, period. Because it is the one that I can get my head around the least. I don't know exactly how they achieved it, which I think is what makes it so brilliant.
That's pretty cool.
Great movie. And then I watched two more movies. I watched Michael Mann's Manhunter because I wanted to know if Michael Mann's a hack. It turns out that no, he just kind of became a hack around the year 2000. Manhunter is good. It is an adaptation of Red Dragon, which is a Hannibal Lecter story.
Okay.
It's very Michael Mann. And it's material that is good for him. It's material that he's able to understand and do well. And I enjoyed it. After I watched Manhunter, which I got finished with at like 11:30 p.m., I'm like, this makes me want to watch The Silence of the Lambs. So I watched The Silence of the Lambs for the first time in like 15 years.
Yeah.
And that depressed me. Because Genuinely, I finished that movie and became there was a melancholy that fell upon me.
You were stricken by melancholy.
I was yes. I came down in a bout of darkness because our standards have gotten so low as a society that people talk about movies coming out as being among the greatest movies of all time, and you watch what is one of the greatest movies of all time, and your standards are completely reset, and it makes you reevaluate everything from the top down again, because Silence of the Lambs is one of the greatest movies ever made. It's perfect, and it's so much better than anything that's come out in the last 10 years. It's almost comical.
See, I was just talking to Steven about this. I've never seen it, but I was like, Silence of the Lambs seems like bullshit because no one can ever shut the fuck up about what's his name. And he's in the movie for 10 minutes, and he's just like playing generic evil guy who's like smart. So he's like, hello. And it's like, holy shit, he's so scary. Because he's because he's like evil, but he's smiling and he says smart things like
wrong, completely wrong.
Right.
Anthony Hopkins in that role is maybe the only human on Earth at that time that could have actually imbued Hannibal Lecter with the charisma to be the character that he is. He is a complete monster that you cannot help but like and empathize with, and there are actions, and it's also Jodie Foster as well. Jodie Foster herself is putting on one of the best performances in film history. Mm-hmm. It's a perfect script. It's perfectly acted, and it's perfectly directed, and it's one of the greatest movies ever made. And I am totally in awe of it.
Neat.
Perfect 10. Made me angry how good it is because we will never fuck. And I remembered it being good too. No, straight up we don't. I was earlier today. I was on the phone with somebody who I work with, and we were talking about movies that came out this year, and we were talking about the movie Sinners. And I was telling he hadn't seen it yet, and I was telling him like there are sequences in Sinners that are actually just underexposed. There's about 30 shots in that movie that are broken because of the fact that they underexposed them on film. Because they shot the movie on film and the DP had never shot film before. Yeah. So the movies are broken and wrong, and the movie is damaged for that. And the person who shot that movie is going to win the Academy Award for Best Cinematography this year. That's the level of distress that I'm at right now. Is I'm staring down the barrel of literal complete insanity. We are clown worlded the fuck up in filmmaking right now, and we can't make great movies anymore. The last truly capital G great movie I saw was Parasite, and that came out in 2019. So that's where we're at. It's been 6 years since I've seen anything that approaches the caliber of something like Silence of the Lambs.
You're saying COVID really scrambled with the movies.
No, because even before then, like I think the last movie that I really saw that was attaining that level was stuff at like the early 2010s.
Yeah,
and I say this as people who, as somebody who enjoyed a lot of movies in the 2010s, but like really like all timers, it's like Parasite, Terrence Malick's The Tree of Life, The Social Network, and then we're talking about the aughts, and then the aughts were maybe even more barren. And all-timers from that decade include Spider-Man 2. So anyway, let's talk about something else. I'm sorry. I spent more time on that than I promised I would, but here we are.
You got to get through them. No, that's important.
Yeah.
I guess we should talk about this anime then that we watched here.
Let's do it.
Let's do it then. Yeah, we were like, let's watch something popular. How about that? Why not? Have a little break from whatever the fuck. What have we been doing? What the fuck was even our last? What have we been up to?
What have we been doing? I mean, for the last 10 years, because we're approaching the 10-year anniversary of this podcast.
Yeah.
What have we been doing for the last 10 years? Only watching stuff that nobody's ever heard of.
I think we are exactly 10 years since the first episode of the first iteration of the podcast this month.
Well, happy happy 10-year. I mean, we'll celebrate in appropriately while I'm up there, but
yeah, we're gonna die.
we decided that we would watch something that people like as a change of pace. So
Yeah.
we did Chainsaw Man.
We watched a little bit of Chainsaw Man. Yes, it's fans of the show will know we already covered the first episode,
Which we loved, or at least I loved.
when it aired. I think I remember saying it was okay 3 years ago. So we will not be covering the first episode. If you want that, you have to go back and listen. No, we're just kidding. Hanging out with the boys at Taco Bell, dipping in to mention Love Me Some Chainsaw. Hell yeah. I hope you got, what'd you get? I hope you got
Cheesy Gordita Crunch.
Cheesy Gordita Crunch or what's it? Something Supreme.
A Fiesta
Crunch Wrap.
Potatoes.
Crunchwrap Supreme. It's good.
Fiesta
Have
Potatoes.
quesaritos.
Of course,
I
no
thought they
quesarito
discontinued
right
them.
now.
Oh,
No
that's
quesarito right
bullshit.
now.
Not going back. Mango's dragging a bit in recent years, but still a fan. Yeah, I noticed this. Yeah, one thing about this season here is I believe this covers volumes 1 through 4. It's the manga at this point is 20 volumes. There's a movie coming out this fall that I believe will cover volumes 5 and 6. So we are still, even with that, we will be less than a third of the way through this story. So it's going. I think he decided, hey, this is really popular. I'm gonna stretch this one out a little bit. I can't blame him.
My understanding is that the only people I know in my life that have read this feel like it drops in quality precipitously.
Okay.
So
great. Can't wait for season 2. There's probably, I don't know if there's going to be a season 2. Yeah, this is fall 2022. It's the Fire Punch guy. He did that, and then he did this. And the studio's Mappa. Obviously, it has to be Mappa.
But of course,
the director's Ryu Nakayama. This is his directorial debut, I believe. I was looking at his most notable credits before this are like being action director of Yatterman Night, which was a show that was actually like kind of good, even though it was like a mess and also unfinished at the end. And he did key animation on Yozakura Quartet Harano Uta, which was a show that made no sense and looked way too good for no reason. So kind of a pattern there. But this one is based on a manga, so it's different. This show, because it was very popular, it has garnered a Western audience who have been trying to get me to hate it with their dumb opinions for years. Every time they talk about it, and I've tried to resist, but they say things that make me so angry.
Please elaborate. Elaborate,
I
please.
swear, I don't think I'm making this up. I remember seeing someone refer to this series as a deconstruction of violence, which is maybe the dumbest series of words I've ever heard.
Now, deconstruction of violence, not a great statement, but a great subtitle.
yeah. That's a good tagline.
Yes.
But that's maybe the dumbest use of the word deconstruction I've ever heard. And the competition is very stiff. You cannot.
We probably should just ban deconstruction from the English language.
Can't talk about that. No, stop.
Yeah, we should put that up there. We should put that up there with the hard R and
the word deconstruction gives you an automatic 7 deportation points. Okay, you get 3 more of those. You're gonzo, buddy. You can't I shouldn't even be engaging with this. You can't deconstruct violence, you fucking idiot.
I got
accused.
Sense. I've been watching the newest season of The Bear, I was posting in a thread about The Bear, and I said that one of the characters who is, I'm going to be completely honest with you, extremely boring. I said, please stop putting so much of this character in the show. She is boring, and got accused of not having media literacy. So I'm going to throw media literacy up there in the terms alongside deconstruction that are no longer valid. That is a term you can't use anymore. You have to be more specific than that. Media literacy has also lost all meaning, because I understand the function that this fucking bullshit character function, what she serves in the show. She's bad at doing that because the actress is not convincing in that role and they don't have anything interesting for her to do. So fuck you. I'm still salty about it a day later.
You're salty about a media literacy.
I got accused of not having media literacy, which is like hilarious. That's like,
I don't know if we can get rid of that one. I have seen people with genuinely people are so this is a much larger issue that's
oh please,
it's hard to address. But like you were talking about just how bad everything is. It's because people just can't wrap their minds around shit. Like, there'll be a clip of like a character being mean to another character, and like the point or the joke is that the person being mean is bad, and people will be like, they're making fun of that person. It's like people can't understand that like, there's no way to explain it without it sounding so fucking simple that it's like, I sound like I'm I'm explaining it to kindergartners, but it's like the thing that the character is doing is not what the media is saying all the time. And no, I can't believe I even have to say shit like that.
No, that's something that only applies to people under the age of 25, because these are people that don't experience content outside of a fucking 10-second snippet.
But it's a real bad sign if you're 24 and you're having trouble parsing stuff like that.
Those people are cooked. I'm a fucking 30-year-old man. I'm watching this TV show. I watched the entire last season where that character ruined the entire season. I'm entitled to the fucking opinion that she's boring and brings the show down. Right. I'm entitled to this. I'm not a media illiterate. Anyway, fucking ugh. I'm
they might be wrong, but the term, I don't know. The term, it has
some... Nope. It's got to go. It's being leveraged against me. Must go. Sorry. Anyway, back to Chainsaw
maybe
Man.
it would be for the best. What was I? I've also heard it described as fooly cooly but dark. Kill yourself.
Not even close.
Basically, everyone is trying to get me to hate this show. So yes, I was like, I'm trying hard not to hate it going in.
You need to insulate yourself from outside opinions. That's what I've done.
But and
I'll tell you what.
But I love X, the Everything app. What am I to do?
I've managed to insulate myself from that too. It's incredible. By the way, the Blue Sky account for gang stalking is popping off. By the way,
wait, what have you done?
No, I'm just joshing. I'm just joshing. Yeah, no, we have 500,000 followers on. We have every single person on Blue Sky follows us. So, I cut a deal.
Oh yeah, what's
What do you mean?
Oh, sorry, I was reading something. What did you say?
I gave them a percentage of our fucking total income. I gave them a small percentage in exchange for everybody immediately following us on Blue Sky.
Oh damn!
I thought it was a good deal.
Yeah, we'll see how it pans out.
It was a unilateral decision. I apologize for not consulting you, but it was time sensitive.
Yeah. You had to strike while the iron's hot.
Anyway, people want you to dislike Chainsaw Man because they like it in the wrong way. So go on.
They like it very much in the wrong way.
Yes.
I also just recently got why the opening is called Kickback. I was like, oh, it's because he's a chainsaw.
That's so true.
That just kind of popped in my head. I
thought it was kick back and relax. Like we're gonna fucking have ourselves some margaritas and drift away.
They should have used,
drift away by what is that called?
Is that
Uncle Cracker?
Uncle Cracker? Yeah.
Uncle Cracker, yeah. Who was on a burner? Yeah, it's a bunch of hits. Anyway.
Yes, I copied these notes from episode 1 from our seasonal preview. Oh wait, I shouldn't have said that because my first note is, oh, I accidentally watched the 2008 series Chainsaw Maid. Oh, oh no. Um,
Well, let me get a look at this preview art and see if that would be an improvement.
uh,
No, we made the right call.
is that even a real? Oh, it's like a claymation thing.
Yeah, stop motion dealy.
Oh, it is Japanese though. It seems like. All right. Yeah, it's this is one of those shows where the the source material is so popular that it's going to be a problem because people are when a manga gets adapted, people just lose their goddamn minds, and because I'm not much of a manga reader. I'm not, I don't have anything against it, but when people say the manga was better, it it doesn't really make sense because what you're really saying is what was happening in your head as you read it was better, because you're doing a lot of the work yourself in terms of like the pacing and like you're probably putting music in your head and you're imagining people's voices. So I don't know, unless maybe they're actually changing up the, pacing and scenes and dialogue, but probably not
information
all
flow.
that much. Yeah. I can't imagine they were. So, because people,
Well, but basically, it just means the story's better than the execution, which I think is an acceptable
or they're
criticism.
saying it had more potential, right? Yeah. But it's pretty muted visually, and our main character here is Denji, and he got $1,000 for his nut, which I thought was not enough. I think they would give you a lot more than that. Is one of the things I wrote in 2022. But he is he's a destitute orphan who lives in a shack and he devil hunts, and then and the guy who his boss gets eaten by a devil, and then he gets taken in by other devil hunters, and then he becomes like a more professional one. So he joins the organization. I don't know.
His motivation is that he had the worst life ever, and that he no longer has the worst life ever. And his biggest fantasy was he would love to have sex with a girl before he dies, which is very relatable. I understand that.
Yeah.
He gets taken from complete squalor in the middle of nowhere where his life is being controlled by the Yakuza because his dad left him a ton of debt. All of that is pretty much immediately hand waved because the thing that matters is he's being incorporated into this organization of devil hunters, and devils in this world could be effectively anything. There is no real joining element across all of the devils in the show. There's no sort of through line of design. It's fucking they can be whatever the show needs them to be in that moment.
Oh yeah, the devils there's like one for everything and concept, and then the more people are afraid of the thing, the stronger the devil is. But yeah, he has a very shitty life, but he doesn't really like understand how shitty it is, and that's kind of one of the main themes of this the whole series is like what's the point of desire and pursuing better things, because like there's always seems to be more beyond that, and like when to be satisfied with your life, and what the point of trying to improve things is.
Yes, and
they're pursuing pussy specifically many times.
The point of pursuing pussy in some case, another example is pursuing revenge, which is basically totally empty and unending and not going to be satisfying. Which that's another theme is when you actually attain the thing that you've been wanting forever, you are never going to be satisfied with what it is because you've built it up to be more than it is in your head. Except for toast with a bunch of different jams on it.
He loves the toast. Yeah, I think this is like some Freudian concept or something where, like, supposedly you don't actually want things. You want the feeling of wanting things, and I've never been able to understand that because I feel like when I want something and then I get it, I'm just happy that I have the thing, and then I move on, and it's great. I don't know. Maybe other people are different. I don't know. I never have been able to figure out what the fuck he meant by that.
I think the problem is that psychology is actually extremely different
fake.
depending on the person. So there are many people that fall into one category of psychology, and then there's many people who fall into a different category. Because
Maybe.
I completely understand the totally unending pursuit of something. But that's because the thing that I want is stupid and wrong. So,
You want cool camera.
well, yeah, obviously, which I've got. So now I'm happy.
See, there you go. Freud disproven. Science wrong.
Where's that photo
Science
of the
wrong
cat?
again.
Where's that picture of the cat? You can see that the cat is content with or without the apple. Let's see if I can find that.
That sounds like an AI generated like Chinese to English like sub, like description of an image. Like cat is content with or without apple.
Here it is. It's coming. It's coming. Here you go.
Oh yeah,
it's a
give me
meme.
that.
It's an internet meme.
Did Discord remove the option to why can't I open it? Oh, open. There it is. Yeah. Notice he is content both with and without apple. That is so true. Hey, that's a peach also. It's clearly a peach.
Might be an unripened apple.
Might be a very dusty apple, yeah. Yeah, I was a little worried about this Jewish debtor character he has at the beginning, because he's like impossible to take seriously, because he's walking up to a 7-year-old kid at his dad's funeral and being like, "You owe me money, kid," and it's like, all right,
yeah,
come
of
on.
course.
Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, if you want to extract the maximum amount of money from someone and you're just an evil piece of shit, you would still like let them grow up first, or like you would give like. Or you would like let them take a shower. Like, it doesn't make any sense to like torture someone who you want to get value out of. You're just reducing the amount of money you can get out of them. He's a very bad businessman. He's not. He's driving around
he's a small
extorting
timer.
7-year-olds. Yeah,
That's why he's in a small town yakuza. He's not ready for the big time, because he's telling
He's
a
like
7-year-old kid to whore himself out.
Yeah.
He's like you should do your best to find somebody to fuck you and pay you for it. It's like, honestly, I gotta be real with you. I gotta keep it creamy with you right now. I don't think a 7-year-old would have a great opportunity for getting themselves fucked in a rural area. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Well,
A 7-year-old boy, don't think it's gonna happen. Nope.
No, I think you could definitely find someone. Yeah, I think if you really put yourself out there, I think you could find.
Well, maybe. Well, I'm sorry. Maybe you were a really good-looking 7-year-old boy, but
he's a good-looking 7-year-old boy. He's blonde. Come on. You could
Desirable trait, man. Yeah, he needs to find himself a Watto that's gonna extract value from him.
Yeah, he just needs to keep walking.
Anyway.
Yeah. What else was I thinking about this first episode?
He finds a chainsaw dog.
Yes, he has his chainsaw dog who he uses to cut down trees, and then the chainsaw dog ends up going inside his body, and he becomes guess what? He's the Chainsaw Man, which was shocking to me. I was like, what's that show where I was just thinking about that. I was like, what's that show where the man is a chainsaw? I was like, oh shit, it's the one I'm watching right now. What an incredible fortuitous event.
I actually kind of like how stupid the first episode is.
It's basically like the first episode of Sailor Moon. Maybe that's a deliberate like homage with like the townspeople being zombies or whatever.
Yeah, I enjoy the simplicity of it. It's so standalone. It's so like you could just watch it, and again, at the time I watched it and I felt like I got a decent amount out of it. Like I understood the entire concept of the show immediately. And it is stupid. The villains, but you know what else has a stupid villain in the first arc of it is fucking Naruto. The villain in the first arc of Naruto is a moron, and that ends up being almost 50% amazing. So that's what we're working from here. This is a kind of show that's 20 volumes. Like, this is going to go on for a while,
Yeah, but it is a pretty standard. It's like, my life sucks, now I have powers episode,
Yes, but
Starts out pretty.
he also is going to be exploited by a lady, and that's good.
Yes, lady shows up, um, uh, and gives him basically just offers gives him food. Um, but she's never eaten apparently. I think he's just been eating bread his whole life, which I think would kill you. I'm not sure, but yeah, she gives him a bunch of food. Her name's Makima, um, and she is very scary. Actually,
Very scary.
she's a pretty
Clearly,
scary lady.
clearly extremely evil. And
Well, she's either evil. She's probably just extremely pragmatic and uncaring. Like
that would be evil. We call that evil. That's evil.
but
That's
she's
if
not.
you're
She's probably willing to do very bad things to save humanity or whatever. I don't think
yes,
she's
we
gonna
call that
be
evil.
straight up. And that's not the same as just being evil. The devils who just want to kill everyone are evil.
She has evil, not in the first episode, but she does have evil actions in the show. She does things that are evil
A little bit,
with it.
but with purpose, with goals.
Yes, that's still. There are a lot of evil people who have had goals. Our goals have just happened to be in line with the things that we want, but the actions she takes to attain them are evil. So
Name one
uh,
from 1930 to name one.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see how it is. You feel the same way that I do, but we all like the way I go about doing these things.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. So first episode gets saved by this lady at the end. There's two guys in hats that never show up again.
There's just
which
some
is kind
guys. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, some guys never show up again.
I like Makima's voice acting a whole lot. She sounds extremely gentle.
Yes.
But you have no idea what she's capable of or what her actual goal is for the entire season. You don't know what the fuck she's up to. You don't know what time scale she's thinking on. You don't know what she can do, and it turns out she can just like make guys die by thinking about them or something. I don't know. It's pretty bad. Yeah, but after he eats, he meets his new demon or devil killing friends. The first one is Sword Guy, I call him. I think his name's Akio. And they beat each other up because Sword Guy doesn't like him. He doesn't think he's taking things seriously because of basically how horny he is. I like that one of his central character motivation is that he's extremely horny. That's like it's like kind of a joke, but at the same time, it's like if you're 16, like really, that's really not used, often enough as like a primary driving force behind a character, because that's pretty much like what's going to be dictating all of your actions if this were to happen to you,
It is.
Seen a girl before.
It is so destructive. The men's horniness is one of the most destructive forces on the planet. It's incredible.
He never learned to keep it in check. That's another, I guess, kind of theme. If it's a deconstruction of anything, it's a deconstruction of the mommy GF. It's or I guess just like having no giving up your agency to because it's easy and being a slave essentially.
In his case, he had no structure by which to operate outside of giving up his agency. He'd only ever been a dog his entire life.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a little bit more going on with him occasionally where he starts to, there's a few scenes of him being introspective, specifically about why he doesn't have emotions outside of his horniness. And the fact that he's talking about like, if this woman that I'm horny for died, would I care? And, that's the most that we get out of him, but it's enough, I think. And yeah, male horniness is, again, one of the most destructive forces in human history. There's nothing else like it that
It may be the most constructive and destructive.
Yes. Well, I've long held.
No one's inventing a space shuttle unless they can, get some pussy.
Yeah, I've been long maintained that the only reason, like, really, everything comes from a place of wanting to come really hard.
Yeah,
Everybody's acting from a place of being motivated by coming as hard as possible, and this is just another, proof of it. Really, this fictional piece of media is evidence.
As possible, not as often as possible.
No.
just literally about the strength, the volume.
No, it goes beyond that. There's a sort of another axis that jizzing it coming works on that is. It goes beyond it goes beyond volume. It goes beyond strength. There's a sort of holiness to it. There's a spiritual element of touching something beyond this plane that can occur when you come really hard.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what everybody wants. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is about working to attain it, sort of. And then there's more rules. There's if a devil, I keep almost saying demon, but they are calling them devils, I think, this whole time. If a devil takes over a person's body, they become what they call a fiend. But that's not what happened to Chainsaw Man. His human part and demon part are supposedly separate or something. It's weird. They just skipping ahead a little bit, but like everyone at the beginning acts like they've never heard of this situation before, like where he has a demon inside him and has his powers. But then they have like 1,000 people in the department with that later, and they just show up. I don't know.
The author changed his mind. That happens in Naruto too.
Or like
it happens in any piece of.
Are those guys all regular contracts, and his is like it's not a contract because it's actually living physically inside? I don't know, but there's just a ton of like silly superpower people. They got fucking Shark Boy and Spider Girl on later.
It doesn't matter.
No, I don't think. I'm not sure it matters. And then we meet Power. Power is, I thought I was going to have trouble telling Makima and Power apart because they seemingly like in the opening, like they have this kind of same face. And then I was like, okay, no, Power, they're never even in the same scenes, but Power is this chuny ass psycho. And she is a fiend. She's the blood demon who's taken over some lady's body. Also, side notes, after episode 2, this is when I realized that every episode is going to have a different ending theme, and they're all crazy. Yes. And they have 12, or I guess 11, because the first episode is just rolling credits, but 11 like fully animated, all with different art styles and different songs ending themes, which is bonkers. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Even Monogatari will do a few episodes at a time with one opening, one ending.
This reminds me of in Oraimo, the who the fuck is the girl in Oraimo? What's her name? Kuroneko. No, the sister.
You're thinking of Kirino.
Kirino in Oraimo is a mangaka, and her manga gets adapted by an anime studio. One of her big ideas is that every episode will have a different ending to it, and it gets totally dismissed outright. And apparently, which makes sense because it's like, oh, that's a total pie in the sky nonsense thing that will never happen. And then I'm watching the show, like every single fucking episode has a different ending. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
I can't remember how much of this there was, but I can't believe I ever saw anyone complaining about like the production value of they animated the shit out of this. This thing has money in it up the wazoo. There's so many animators credited on this show. If you look
you got to be a real fucking asshole to complain about that. I'm going to be honest. That's like, you got to be a real dick. Like, not every single shot in the entire show is perfect. Go fuck yourself. You do it.
There's some CG, but a lot of it is happening so fast that it's hard to even tell, really. I'm not even sure if it would have been worth animating. And there's like, there's a fight. There's like a crazy fight in one episode, at the end of one episode, and you're like, damn, that was a crazy fight. And then you're expecting like, an episode of sort of, chilling out, like hanging out, doing whatever before the next one. And then there's an even crazier fight at the beginning of the episode after that.
Yep.
And you're like, oh my God, this looks like such a pain in the ass to have done. So after he meets Power, he decides to trade rescuing her cat for touching her boobs. And here's another
Fair.
weird. Yeah, it's absolutely fair. And here's another weird aspect of this that I never actually figured out. They mentioned that the USSR still exists at one point. Are we in the
Yes.
80s? What year is it?
Alternative timeline, I guess.
it?
Where?
Oh,
yeah, I
weird.
guess. I don't know.
I guess
Yeah,
'cause
I don't
those
know.
devils, like, yeah, I don't know.
Do they
There's
have
no
cell phones?
I didn't see a single smartphone or cell phone in the entire. No, I was like trying to figure. Some of the cars look kind of
Maybe you're
old, too.
right.
But
Maybe you're
also
right,
they're
yeah.
wearing like high tops. Maybe it is the 80s. I don't know. Their style of dress.
Alternative history. It's kind of like that movie It Follows, where that doesn't take place at any time. It's just whenever, you know.
Right. Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
don't know how
I
people
like it.
dressed in Japan in the 80s. Yeah.
They all wore kimonos. They were very formal. They didn't know yet.
They just had.
They
had
wore
bamboo.
they wore those loincloths, those like loincloths that don't cover their ass cheeks, you know?
Yeah, they just had fig leaves until someone invented capri pants.
And
So
they're like, yep.
Then
this is it.
all the men were like, finally something to wear all the time. Finally, loafers and capri pants. And Power is a psycho who just loves killing things, but she
Relatable.
doesn't kill people for some reason.
Because she has an agreement. She got an agreement with the organization she's working
Yeah.
with. Because she basically got captured. She wanted to get her cat back. She got her cat back, and then that's all she really wanted. All she wanted was to get her kitty back, which I get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't think she has anything beyond that, really.
Yeah, so she leads him to where her cat has been captured by this devil, and then it turns out to have been an obvious trap. And at one point, she says, "You have good instincts," and I was like, "He does not have good. He is a moron. He is a real fucking idiot."
They play into that later on.
He absolutely does not have good instincts.
But she's also an idiot. So like
Yes.
the two of them together are a pair of perfect idiots.
Yeah. So, anyways, she turns out she's working for this bat, and then the bat eats the cat, and then the bat eats her, and then he has to fight the bat, and that's the fight I was talking about, where they just really drew a lot of frames of this, and I like when he starts like powering up and getting strong. There's a shot of the bat like dropping something, and the bat literally does the dinosaur dropping his cup gif. He does this. He literally does this. You're in the dark. You can't see. It was so close to being
I know what
this
you're
that
talking about.
I was like, is this an homage? Like, I know it's not, but he just straight up does that. Yes. So then there's like that big fight, and then there's a fucking crazy nuts ED with these just insane visuals. Where's the? Oh yeah, there's crazy sounds. He like fires this laser thing.
That's a great sequence.
That's really good.
He has this like echolocation kind of burst that he lets out because he's a bat.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So sick.
Yeah, it's really good. And then he beats him, and then you're like, okay, we did that, and we have crazy neon goop ED.
Come ED. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of cum ED. And then we fight a giant earthworm with like udders, who Japan has this this type of mouth where it's like a lady's like lipstick mouth, but it's like gross. There's monsters in Persona that have the same shaped mouth where it's like
They do it a lot in the Mario RPG games. Is they'll slap those lips onto like piranha plants and stuff, and like that's your big villain. Is it's like, oh, it's piranha plant with big lipstick. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, for sure.
That's horrifying.
But yeah. Apparently, the bat was her lover, I guess.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she comes for revenge, and he roasts the shit out of her. Cooks
we
her
also
up.
get some flashbacks of there are a lot of flashbacks in this series, but they don't bother me as much the way flashbacks normally do because they're usually pretty short, and they're not extremely boring and explaining things that we already know, like flashbacks often do. But she was like eating whole bears and stuff in the woods for a while. And this whole episode just kind of, he fights this earthworm, and I don't think he ends up beating it. Something like the sword guy does or something.
Yes, he shows up and uses the wolf to just
the fox
destroy it. Yeah, fox. Yeah. But this is really kind of showing Denji's full-on maniacal energy, where he will not stop. He's unstoppable.
He has the power of endurance, and he's just crazy.
Yeah,
and he'll fight anything.
Yeah, that really pays off in a later episode. No, he's not the greatest ever, but he will just, if you can cut all of his, he's like the Black Knight.
There's pretty much just a straight up Black Knight sequence later.
Where he will not give up because he wants to touch boobs.
Yeah. Yep. And then so he got the cat back, so he's entitled to boobs. I thought he was gonna pussy out of the boobs, but he didn't. I was pretty psyched about that. Power moves in with both of them. Oh yeah, the two of the guys have been living together because they have to look after Denji. He's not really he's not really allowed to have any like freedom because he's like kind of a demon or devil. So they're not really, they're not really supposed to be keeping him either in the first place. So then also Power moves in, and then he touches the boobs, and then at first the boobs are fake, but then he touches the real boobs. I was like, okay. Let me find my. Oh wait, where's the folder?
I'm up there back. I'm gonna use the potty.
Oh, okay. It's on my desktop here somewhere. What did I call? Oh, I called them CSM clips. That's it, stands for Chainsaw Man. Yes. See. Okay. Before Ethan gets back, here's what I did. Like, wait. Did he still hear me? Did he say he had me on speaker? Never mind. I'm not gonna say. I can't reveal any secrets. Let me talk about something else instead. This I really related to. I've been killing a lot of slugs, so I've sort of related. I related to him killing a lot of big nasty guys because I've been getting a lot of leopard slugs in my traps. Let me show you guys. Know how leopard slugs fuck? Hold on. Let me show y'all a picture of this. It's not pleasant, but I believe it's not explicit enough to get me in trouble on YouTube. But the way the slugs hang from something and then they like wrap around each other, and like that whole blue thing is the male slug's pee-pee. And there's so many of these things living around my house that this must just be happening around me constantly. And I've never seen it once. They're shockingly good at hiding it.
The beautiful dance.
The spiral of love. And I really just want to find them doing this and just kill them immediately because I don't want.
That's happening. The bit. If anybody were to kill me while I was about to bust, that's like, I find that completely acceptable. You have to kill them after. You have to wait until they're both like running away, and you kill the female in front of the male, and then you kill the male.
That's pretty fucked up, but
you're not sadistic enough. Because if you're gonna kill them while they're fucking,
I don't hate them enough. Yeah.
Yeah, cause I don't hate them at all. I would just let it happen. I don't give a fuck. But if you really want to do it from a place of like, be fucking real about it. Be serious.
Mm-hmm. M80 right below them.
Set them on fire.
Yeah. I don't know if they might be immune to fire. They're covered in slime.
Yeah, it's Pokemon rules. Dude. Yeah. They're at least half resistant for sure.
Yeah, it would take a while. It'd take a lot of propane. I forgot to tell you. Obviously I watched the dub. So
did you?
Oh yeah. So I only got a little bit of a sample here, but like to give you a general idea of how the dub sounded. Let me just hit you with this.
Oh, please.
Wow, 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 wow. Ya llevas mucho tiempo en la tina. No te duermas en el baño.
Yeah, so I had no idea what the fuck these guys were saying the whole time. The way they're pronouncing the words is all weird.
That would make sense why so much of this went over your head.
So I ended up having to just read the subtitles, for everything, even though I was watching the dub. I don't know. Another thing I was curious about was when he grabs Power's boobies. She lets out this moan, and in the Japanese, it's a pretty standard Japanese moan, which I'm used to hearing. So I was like, okay, obviously I've got to hear the English moan. So the rip I watched had all three. It had Japan, English, and the Latinx.
Hispaniola, yes.
So in Japan, we get the...
Kimochi.
Okay, so that's normal, right? That's the normal one. And then in English, we had this.
Oh, wow. That feels nice.
So, of course, this English bitch has to do it all sarcastic, okay? And, like, not real.
She's doing it sarcastic in the Japanese, too, bro. That's
okay,
sarcastic as fuck in the Japanese.
It's not as sarcastic. I think it's less. But I was like, okay, I bet.
Maybe by 30% less sarcastic.
Yes, about, yeah. I was like, I bet this Latina queen, I bet she really just throws it down. And she does.
Wow.
Why caramba?
Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. That's the, this one.
Ay, sí, qué rico.
See, I can't tell if that's sarcastic or not. I don't.
Nope, that's happening for real. She's getting fucked
yeah,
in the audio booth.
They just took that from, that was from her lunch break.
They're pulling a fucking Guns N' Roses Rocket Queen style. They're all fucking her in the booth.
Yeah. That wasn't even planned. And then and this is really what I was most upset by is that the most unrealistic thing in this show is that he's underwhelmed by touching the boobs. And I get that it's his whole, like, it's the only goal he has in life because he's, like, underdeveloped and he doesn't have any prospects for his future, but no one has ever been underwhelmed by touching boobs, even small, even over the shirt. It's like you think about touching boobs your entire life until you're a teenager, and then when it happens, it's even better.
You're saying for the first time. You're saying for the first time? Or just...
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's even better than you think it's going to be.
I remember the first time. I remember the first time I ever touched boobs. This girl, I did not realize exactly how stacked up she was with Big Naturals.
Yeah.
And then she gets them out, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
You're like, why were you hiding your big natties?
Just hanging out with those. You're just walking around with those all the time.
You were. Why are you Mulaning this shit? Like, who are you trying to fucking impress? You trying to join the fucking army or something with those big natties?
You're paying for things. What the hell?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, you should just walk through this world as a pure person who never has to lift a finger. You should be fat. You should be a fat person carried around places, like as you're a dignified royal.
Carried around on a bamboo, like.
This shot is amazing, by the way. This is a banger.
That's good.
This is the end of the episode leading up to her getting her boobs.
Yeah, this is when
he
finds out he's actually going to get to touch the boobs, and yes, she begins glowing angelically.
This show really has an amazing ability to make you want to watch the next episode. It's like perfect cliffhangers all the way through. Where like. I know that the cliffhangers are there deliberately to make me stay tuned, but goddamn, do they work?
Yeah, it's not the annoying kind where it's like cliffhanging at the climax of some conflict or whatever. But it's like, it's very, very watchable show. I liked it. I thought it was good, but I think it's even more watchable than it is good.
I'm 100% on board with you. I mean, like I bombed through this. Like I had other stuff I wanted to watch. And I still ended up just like watching 4 episodes of this in a clip. It would put it up. I started watching today thinking I had 3 episodes left. I had 1 episode left. That's how much I had done. Where I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure I've got to watch 3 episodes before we record. And then I watched episode fucking 9 or 10 or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I've seen this. I'm like, oh right. Yeah, no, I just keep going, which is great stuff. So. Yeah, no, 100% agree. More watchable than it is good. Still good.
And
I like it.
Yeah, but it's he's underwhelmed by the boobs, And so then Makima gives him an extremely erotic hand touching.
How dare they draw that much clavicle
That's
on
crazy.
that girl?
Yeah.
Who gives them the right to put that much definition in that girl's clavicle?
On power there. Yeah, yeah.
How dare you do that to me? This is a full. They drew a full-grown adult woman right there. Was what they did, and anime doesn't do that much anymore. That's a lady.
This show's
That's
big
a lady
on,
right there.
They're wearing like shirts and ties a lot of the time. It's what it does do. It's big on, the upper body. It's big on the clavicles and the boobs. Yeah, shoulders.
And she got the look at the definition on the jaw and her lips there. It's like you're fucked in the head. How did you do this? What's wrong with you doing this to me?
She's a freak. She's a goddamn freak. So yes, Makima is she's doing some weird. She clearly doesn't actually like him. She's doing some weird. She might be literally controlling him at some level, or she's just. You completely has no reservations about using the fact that he is smitten with her.
This is what being in a relationship is like, by the way, just so you know.
It's just having this very suffocating feeling of not being able to do anything.
Yeah, it's like you're like, I don't know what she wants from me, but she keeps doing these things that make me feel.
Why does she keep touching me? What the fuck does she want?
Why is she doing these things that are very obviously extremely personal and intimate? And why does she want to do this to me? What is she trying to gain here?
Okay, yeah. So that's and there's also the very the not very subtle imagery in the opening where it's the snail with the rainbow what are they called, like the eyes or whatever, when it has that parasite that takes over its brain and controls it. It's like, okay, yeah, that's Reddit fun fact. Did you know that ants, it's a fungus that makes them go up top? And
did you play The Last of Us 12 years ago?
Did you know he really broke his toe when he kicked the helmet in the fucking Lord of the Rings?
It's pretty sweet.
She's being nefarious, and it's unnerving. I like how much I am off put by her. It's pretty good. And then we also get a little bit of what's his name, Akio backstory, where
Aki.
Who's Akio? I don't know. Aki's backstory. He his whole family just exploded instantly because of the gun devil who just shot the earth at one point and killed 1 million people. So that's why he's doing this, because he's mad about that. So it's sort of it's like a classic cartoon. Speaking of Panty and Stocking, it's like the other thing that Panty and Stocking is also kind of an homage to, which is like the cartoon formula of every episode we collect a piece of the thing that will help us get to the the big goal or whatever. They're collecting pieces of the gun devil, which will lead them to the gun devil, because that's a big one, because people are scared of guns. And then we also meet some other devil hunters. There's an eye patch chick, and there's a scaredy cat girl. Eye patch chick is kind of a whore, but we're getting some character development on Denji. He kind of learns to disregard the hoes, and then they go into this hotel to beat this one devil, and they get stuck. That's an arc that lasts a couple of episodes. They get stuck in this hotel.
I love that devil. I love that idea of them being stuck on one floor of a hotel. I love the devil being the eternity devil.
Yeah,
where it's the fear of the infinite is a great idea. It doesn't end up materializing in anything very interesting in terms of him fighting it, but I guess the idea is that I guess it does reinforce Denji's sort of drive, where it's like his idea for how to kill the eternity devil is like, I'm going to outlast eternity. I'm going to make your life so bad that you want me to kill you, which I think is awesome. that's
That is
that's a
funny,
great
yeah. He's,
that's a great solution to that problem.
yeah, just a dumb brute force of this like Lovecraftian thing.
Well, it's just that basically the idea is that it's trying to smother the people in the floor by being like, I can outlast you, and he's like, no, you fucking can't.
Yeah,
no, you should.
chainsaw you forever.
Let's see exactly how fucking long you can last, motherfucker. Awesome. I love that solution. This is probably actually my favorite arc of the show. Which is strange because it's the most like monster of the week of them.
It is,
But
yeah.
I just like everything about about the location. I love everything about the monster. I love the way that Denji beats it. I love the sort of how it breaks everybody in the organization down to they were like, I guess we just gotta fucking kill Denji and feed it to this devil. I guess that's what's gonna have to happen here. Is it's like we have no way out of this. And yeah, I don't know. It says a lot about a lot of the characters.
Yeah. Especially Kobani. She, Kobani, who's the scaredy girl, she is not cut out for this. I don't know what the fuck she's still doing here. It was like she was obviously not fit for the job at first, and then like she starts stabbing people because she goes crazy, and it's like, man, boy, you really fucked up. And then she's still there later, and you're like, why is she still here? She's completely unfit.
It's probably hard to recruit people for this job. It's probably hard to get people who are on board for like certain death. So
yeah, it's we start to more things start happening that really reinforce the sort of hopelessness of this job. Like everyone is really just kind of marked for death, because it's everyone's just kind of waiting to die, which is why everyone just has like a sad backstory, because like you kind of end up here if it's like your last resort or whatever. So it's kind of, like I said, we're kind of only partially of the way into the story, so I think things have to get pretty hopeless before we can add any kind of niceness or silver lining to anything. Honestly, it's like pretty much a comedy for the first 5 or 6 episodes or whatever.
Yep.
And then we kind of start getting more into the meat of it. And so he beats the thing, and then everybody goes drinking. And this is when we learned that Himeno, the eye patch lady, is a fucking slut, and also pukes in his mouth, which is really maybe the grossest thing
crazy.
I've ever seen.
I was gonna say I have a hard time with vomit in media.
Oof.
I react very strongly, and this is one where I just had to skip it. I just skipped it. I saw what was going to happen. I knew what was going to happen. I just skipped right through it. Did not see any of that section of the show. Did not see any of that vomit.
It was bad. It was, you wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah, no, I made the adult decision to skip it.
It went farther possibly than anything I've seen with vomit. Oh boy.
Yeah.
And then and then she carries him back to her place, and I don't know how he got drunk. Surely not from the puke, from her puke. She's just like drinking beers. But anyway, she tries to fuck him, and this is when he does pussy out. I was like, all right, fine. I think the Zoomers who watch this show really hate this. I think they hate her because they think she's a disgusting predator who preyed on an innocent young boy.
Well, she's as damaged as fuck.
Yeah,
I mean, she's obviously just fucked up. Like she's
an affectionate drunk. Nothing wrong with that. And also, everyone she's ever loved or looked after has died horribly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's she has no meaningful human connections other than the 2 little boys in her life. It's like there's nobody around her. Like it's, and also the organization that she's a part of is like innately exploitative. The person that she works for is a complete psycho.
Yeah.
Her life sucks. It's like she does attempt to take advantage of this guy, but like
she's there, but I don't think the show was putting a sort of like critical eye on her from the perspective of like she's like a predator. She's just obviously damaged as shit.
Yeah. No, it is very, it is concerning to think of the majority of people younger than us watching this, seeing this, and concluding like, oh, this woman's a piece of shit. Like,
yeah, she's not like a normal functioning member of society who's like going to work every day and then decides I'm going to prey on high school girls. That's not what she's doing. That's
all
like
these
completely...
people have a job where they can be killed at any second. So obviously they're all like complete alcoholics, and they have very short. They have like high time preference. You know, they're impulsive because they don't care. But they don't. You know, they don't think about the future because it would be kind of pointless to.
Everybody. They already established everybody who works in this organization is crazy. This show is also not endorsing this. Like it's showing something.
They're all crazy, or they die, or both. But you can't be neither.
Yeah, right. So she is crazy. She is obviously fucked up. And guess what? Guess what happens to her?
I mean,
She dies.
little fucked up. Like fucked up enough to try to fuck a 16-year-old as like a 20-year-old or whatever. It's like, okay, you know, you could be more fucked up than that. And then we find out that there's another one. There's another guy. He's not quite a chainsaw man. He's more of a sword man.
She does. You've got an image of her vomiting or spitting beer into his mouth. Like she's fucked up.
She's blackout. I mean, she's got a bit of a problem, but you know.
Yeah, like she's fucked up. Like she's not a normal functioning member of society at all.
Well, no, I guess not. She got no depth perception.
That's the problem. When you have no depth perception, you can't tell age, which is why I walk around with an eye patch at all times, because
Officer,
that's plausible deniability.
Park or tell how old these girls are. Please.
Yes, I know. Yes, I'm sorry that I did leave this meter running for an extra 30 minutes after I had paid for it. And yes, these might be 14-year-old girls, but I don't know. I can't see that. I don't see age. I don't see time.
No, that was what my left eye was for. It's gone now.
Yeah. I see in 2 dimensions. Don't even start talking to me about the 4th dimension of time, okay?
No.
Anyway.
Time 2. Yeah, and then everyone starts getting shot. And there's a sword guy who looks sick as fuck. He's got a hat. This whole season is kind of like that broadsword versus katana argument, except instead of a broadsword, it's a chainsaw. You know, it's like, well, who would win? It's like, oh man, depending on which angle you hit it from, you know, it's like sharpness versus like mass, you know. But
I've never even. You have to enlighten me on this. I've not thought about this for a moment ever. What are you talking about?
Oh, hold on.
Is this a discussion about whether European broadswords or Japanese katanas would be better tools for combat?
Oh, where's the GIF? Fuck. It used to be an amazing. Oh yeah, here we go. Give me this. Right here. This used to be an amazing bait image because he hits the sword with the katana and it just like bends and chips. You know. And you would, people would post that, and just the argument that would ensue would just be hours of like, yeah, but you're not supposed to hit it you're not supposed to hit him edge to edge.
That's great.
It's like
that's great stuff. That's great stuff.
And yeah, so that's it's best is the show.
But when you try to create an absolute about something that is such an absurd hypothetical that has so many angles to approach it from, it's like,
like this would never come up.
Yeah, that's great.
It's very funny. Yeah,
that's good. That is funny to think about. Obviously, the guy who's wearing about a gajillion pounds of armor is going to get smoked by somebody that's really fast. So
yeah. Folded 1,000 times. So yeah, there's this. I thought this was a kind of Order 66 situation, but I think. Well, I mean, it may end up being that's kind of what happened. But yeah, a bunch of dudes start walking up and killing everyone in the organization, including seemingly Makima.
Seemingly, there's there's obviously no way. So
I thought it was possible that the show could take a sharp left turn. I was like, okay, maybe this happened.
wouldn't make any sense. She has too much going on still. It wouldn't be narratively satisfying.
Well, no, but it could have been the point that it was unsatisfying, and then you find out what she was up to afterwards. It could have been. It was possible, but yeah, no. I mean,
fair enough. They do a admirable job of not playing their hand. I will give them that for sure.
Yeah.
They do let that simmer for a little bit and let you live with the idea that Makima is dead for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And other characters in the show operate on the assumption that Makima is dead.
Talk about that. I gotta use the bathroom now.
I'm going to talk about The Bear instead.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about The Bear instead. Okay. So season 4 of The Bear just came out, and I thought that season 3 of The Bear was very underwhelming. It's not a shocking or a new opinion at all, obviously. My big takeaway from season 3 of The Bear is that they need to rid themselves of this Sugar character. She is a total albatross that brings down the entire show. They don't know how to write Sugar. They can't make Sugar interesting. The actress who plays Sugar overacts every single scene that she's in. And it seems like they're doing a better job of not having her be a super large component of season 4. I'm about 4 episodes in right now, and it seems like it could be a step up, but it reminds me of the good episodes in season 3 rather than reminding me of the good episodes in season 2, which are much better. Season 4 is a Sydney episode, which Sydney episodes are always kind of iffy for me, in that I like the actress that plays Sydney. I like the character of Sydney, but I don't think that her personal drama is as interesting as the personal drama of some of the other main characters. I mean, Richie, it might just come down to you have Richie, who is a truly inspired character, a truly excellent character who is new and interesting. But I guess Sydney also is new and interesting. I like what Sydney has to offer. I think they just allowed her to be a little stagnant, because Sydney's thing is that she always is wanting more. Sydney is always impatient. Sydney always wants to work on improving, moving in a new direction rather than improving. And I just want to see more from the Sydney character, and I want to see none of the Sugar character. Next.
I've returned.
He's here. I've given my extremely comprehensive thoughts on the first 4 episodes of The Bear, season 4.
I assume that's the newest one.
That is the one that just came out yesterday. Yeah, which I will be watching as soon as we're done tonight. Is I'm going to watch more of The Bear. Okay. They seemingly execute a bunch of the Section 4 people.
Everyone's getting murked. And then Himeno. The thing is, everyone has a contract with a devil. So everyone, you never anyone could sacrifice themselves at any point and die. So you even if someone is in extreme peril, you never know who is actually going to get fucked up in a scene, because anyone can just decide to just let the devil fuck themselves up in exchange for big power, at any point. So Himeno in this case saves Aki, and goes ghost. She disappears and saves him to try and beat Sword Man.
This may be a small issue of power escalation here. And that over these next few, this is, I think, a totally bullshit criticism, but I'm going to make it anyway, because I always get annoyed with people who care about power levels and things. But in this case, some of the power levels of the show are so ridiculous that I can't
understand why they're not leveraging that power all the time. I guess these people from what we've seen, people usually have to sacrifice a great deal of their health or life in exchange for these powers from these devils. But
Yeah.
I mean, we literally see somebody give their lives in this scene, so but it just, what we see over the next few episodes makes me like, why would we rely on any of these other people? So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, there's orders of magnitude it's like when he's fighting that worm thing for so long, and then Aki snaps his fingers and a giant fox comes out, and you're like, okay, so we're working on many scales here. And then but then he is able to like kind of fight this thing that beats the fox very easily. It's it can get kind of confusing,
a little muddled.
and and this lady, this blonde lady, like she just has to give up one of her fingernails, and this thing comes out and just kind of eats whatever.
It's arbitrary. I mean, like,
Yeah.
we see later on that it's whatever the plot needs them to have for that particular moment. I mean, like the girl whose fingernails she's exchanging for the power of these extremely powerful devils is like immediately dispatched. Like we don't even care about her. So
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It might kind of clash with like kind of one of the like ongoing themes, which is that like some people just like are way have way more power than you, and like you can't do anything about it. But like he can kind of just fight anyone at any point. That'd be the only sense in which I think that kind of rubs up like conflicts with the rest of the show. But we lose Himeno. Everyone's pretty much dead except for all the devil people, and also Makima, who just comes back. She's fine. She's okay. And then she comes back, and then she finds her like some agents from the Kyoto branch, and she does this. I was imagining Kenan Thompson saying this to Kel, being like, all right, I need a brand new suit, 30 convicts with life sentences, and an exclusive reservation at a high altitude Japanese shrine. He's like, here it goes. That was a funny list of items that she needed. But she does some crazy human sacrifice thing where she can use these cons to make guys explode by thinking about
this is the moment where I realized that I would have absolutely loved this at 13. This would have been my favorite thing.
We're brushing
ever.
up against Elfen Lied. This is heightened Elfen Lied.
This is riding that line of edginess where I'm like, ooh, I would have chomped the fuck out of this. When I was like just getting into anime, I'm like, this is the sickest shit I've ever seen. Like, oh my god, she could kill people with her brain. It's
What were you even? What were you into particularly edgy stuff? You liked Aremo. Like, what were you even? You're watching Naruto and K-On! What were you into?
No, but I'm kind of I'm taking some artistic liberties here. This is I'm entering the mind of a 13 or 14-year-old. I think we maybe grew up in a slightly different time, Whereas like if you grew up on Attack on Titan, you know what I mean? Like then you probably would think this is fucking sick as fuck. Which it's pretty cool. But it's not. I could see where the target demographic would be like, "Oh fuck," I could. This is a sequence that I appreciate more than I like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like there's like you can appreciate it on the level of like, oh, this chick that you knew was fucked up in some way is finally showing how fucked up she is, and it's really fucked up, or there's probably just being like, yo, this shit was sick as hell.
I just see too much of how it works.
Give me something to break.
I need a little room to breathe. I see too much of how this works, like how the narrative is unfolding, and like deliberately how these pieces are placed to really have the thing fully work on me. But I still appreciate it. I still think it's a cool moment. I still think that like this is setting the new bar of powers in the show,
Yes. Yeah, kind of. And but also I was annoyed that they never checked this whole plan where they kill everyone hinges on them killing her, and they never checked that she can get shot in the head. Like they never even thought about that may be a problem. Like they didn't hire
this thing that like
they didn't
other
hire
people.
a schizophrenic homeless guy to try shooting her first and like give him some plausible deniability. You know,
This
hire a
this
black
thing
guy.
that we know other people in the show are able to do and survive
Yeah.
from. This
Yeah,
thing where like
that's-
she's obviously an extremely mysterious lady who has ulterior motives that
Yeah,
are
she's
beyond
the
the
head of the
machinations.
devil hunter, and there's magic in the world, and you're just like, let's
Yeah.
shoot her with a gun.
Yeah, we have people who can get cut down the middle and reconstruct themselves.
Yeah,
You know, I like the visual element of her, like basically kneading people like clay. That is extremely disturbing. I great little sequence there. Really enjoyed it.
yeah. Kobeni comes back, and she saves Denji from getting hauled off in a van.
This one is a little bit much for me. This is one where I'm like, okay, yeah, okay, sure. Like, we have not been given I guess she has a pact with the devil.
She has to have something. Yeah.
But her thing is that she's just like everybody has superpowers now. I guess everybody's a superhuman all the time now.
Well,
There are no
She
more-
mentioned earlier that she had a contract.
Yeah, but like her contract is with the wolf or with the fox, right?
No.
She
It's a
does-
secret.
Oh, she does have a secret one. I thought she had one with the fox too. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, they bring up
Um,
multiple people have contracts with the Fox, but I think we only know about Aki so far.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. I guess we don't have a full idea of what her power set is.
I thought it
She's
was
so-
gonna be like she has some contracts with like that lets her slip by the radar no matter how incompetent she is, so like she can't get fired or something like that. But it's probably
Well, like,
because she has
that could
superpowers,
be
too.
that could be
also
then
that. Yeah.
expressed in a way that is like her also being able to use that in combat. Like she can just slide underneath everybody's perception. She's so plain that nobody can detect her as a threat, which I think would be great. That'd
Maybe.
be a fun power, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Um,
She can just run up. She can run up walls and do backflips and
yes,
and
and she
babe-
can slice with a knife.
yeah.
But yeah, that whole ordeal kind of ends, and you're like, okay, Makima probably orchestrated that whole thing because it ends with her getting like promoted. So
You have been promoted.
Kobeni's an outlier. Everything's still unknown. Like still in the manga. God damn.
Too long. You got to start explaining shit after fucking 20 volumes.
Maybe he just means at this point in the show.
Oh, okay.
But Aki is kind of bummed out about this whole thing because he lost his lady and also has 2 years to live because he used his cool sword too much.
He has 2 years to live, or he lost 2 years. Is that what
No, he has 2 years total.
okay.
Yeah.
That's enough. He could probably kill the gun devil
Kill a
in that
gun.
time.
Maybe, yeah. This is all everything has probably been like 3 days the whole show. So yeah,
Right, yeah.
a lot of things can happen. So now we meet a scruffy guy here who is also a degenerate alcoholic, and he's very good because he's lived to be old. You can tell, but he's also fucked up because of his hair and the way it is. But he's recruited to train Power and Denji. And so his way of training them is to just fuck them up constantly every day. Like it's a deconstruction of the shonen training arc.
The shonen training arcs where everybody just gets their fucking ass beat, which is like every shonen training arc, is that they just get the
They
shit
don't
beaten
get
out
like,
of them.
I guess they don't get like stabbed in the throat and head. Though,
They don't get
so-
fully killed. No, that's
Yeah.
true. Yes.
They just
yes.
have to put on heavy clothes and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's suspiciously absent from the second half of the manga. Maybe she's just too boring. I don't know.
Maybe she got blonde girled like in Dragon Ball, where that fucking Toriyama
Yeah.
just forgot about an entire character.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fun. This has got some of my favorite antics in the show, which is where Denji and Power decide to be smart.
Yeah, they're like a,
which
they're
is
like a-
terrific.
They're like a himbo bimbo couple, I guess. They're
It's
they're
terrific.
like, let's be smart, and the next scene they're both wearing glasses. Like that's their
I love
idea
it.
of being smart.
It's
That
so
is,
funny.
it is very funny, and yeah, they have a plan to ambush Scruffy guy, and
I love it.
he just
I love
punches his way through it like very easily.
I love how I love how for them this is a good plan. This is like you're having
Yeah,
blood
no, it's
above
not
him so
bad.
they can have. That's a good plan, and he sees through it, and he kind of acknowledges is like that was a good plan. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah. He defeats it easily, and then he's like, "That was really good. Good job. We're done for the day."
Yeah, that's I love this. I love the fact that they're wearing glasses in the fight. It's
Like yeah,
It's,
just
that's
for
great.
just who knows what there's not even any possible thought, even no matter how stupid they are, there's no thought process that could have made that make sense just to wear glasses for this. It's just a display that they think they're being smart, so it's just they're wearing glasses for the scene.
Yeah. But it's kind of working. It's like the fact that they're putting any thought into how they fight is an improvement for them over, and
Any
I guess
strategy.
it sort of does pay off later on with Denji. But like, yeah, any strategy is better than just being total brain dead murderers. So
Yeah. Kabeni's brother has shown up multiple times as comic relief. He just refuses to show her to us. High chance she's just a prostitute now. Okay, I get she did say that yeah, her options were prostitute or devil hunter. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably go for devil hunter, but if I was a girl, I don't know, actually. That'd be a tough one.
how bad could it really be to be a whore?
I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know which one you were about to say. How bad could it really be? Well, it'd be pretty bad.
Pretty bad. I think historically, the evidence points.
Yeah, I mean,
to
nowadays it's like
not
if
good.
you have like an agency, I think they do some basic diligence. They have to make sure the guy doesn't stink too bad when he comes in, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, usually, like if your pimp doesn't wear like a big hat and like a huge fur jacket, you're probably okay.
Yeah, he has to keep classic with it. We should go to a soap land next time we're in Japan. We should spend $500 and get condom sucked.
What is this? What is a soap land?
That's where the prosties are. You don't know about soap lands?
Oh
Oh, well, they're
no, I'll just find some. I'll find myself a bitch off of Tinder and fuck her.
I mean, do you really think so?
Yeah. Well, we're
Don't
gonna
you
get
want-
on that.
Don't you want to go to an establishment where they've been like tested?
No, we're gonna get on that DNP. We're gonna become lean muscle studs, and then we'll go over there and just like display ourselves. And
just
from there,
pose.
we'll be able to get some cooter. I think.
I trust
honestly,
you.
honestly, I'm kind of beefing with Japan a little bit. After what they did
What?
to Designer when he was over there and he was hella
him.
bricked up because he got no cootie, and then he had to get
that
caught
shit tucked
masturbating
in
on
in
that
public.
flight.
No.
that's we have to stand in solidarity, okay? I mean, maybe you don't have to, but I
Solidarity.
stand.
He had one song. Release another song, then maybe I'll show some solidarity.
I stand
That
with
fucking panda?
Designer.
No.
I stand with Designer. Timmy Turner, another song. That's 2 songs. That's 2.
Maybe how about a good song?
If nobody will stand with Designer, then who will stand with me when I also get caught masturbating on a flight back from Japan
Supposed to at least go to the bathroom.
in my seat?
What's Designer been up to? He's 28. Jesus. Yeah, he hasn't done anything. Oh, he has a bunch of EPs. What was I? Was there some musical artist that did a silly thing recently?
Timmy Turner, keep on wishing for a burner.
Oh
It's
my
great.
God, that sucks.
Maybe it's going over your head because it's a reference to the Fairly Odd Parents.
I'm worried about hanging out with you because in my mind you stopped listening to like really bottom of the barrel like styrofoam cup like mumble rap, but I'm worried, like, are you still, are you actually, because that was just Like 2018, that was the worst.
You're gonna have to find out.
Oh,
I'm gonna
no.
leave you in suspense.
You can't.
Bottom of the barrel mumble rap. How
the
dare
worst. It would
you? Who
just
you even?
be,
You were talking about Future?
You would be so excited about like the guy, like the guy would be like, I just shot a nigga. Now I'm drinking on that syrup, and you would go, holy shit, that was so
hold on,
fucking
hold on.
hard.
Run
That
it
was the
back, run it
hardest
back, run it
shit I've
back,
ever
run it
seen
back,
in my
run it
life.
back,
It
run
was
it back, and tell me it's not.
It was like, it's like, I get it. The worse it is, the better it is. But like, stop. And you'd be like, no, dude, we gotta listen to
I
that
just fucked your bitch
Purple
in some
Sip
Gucci
EP.
flip flops.
Ugh.
Sipping purple activist. I thought it was a drought. I took a piss and I seen codeine coming out. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
That was the one. Yeah, it's so bad.
Yeah, it was Dirty Sprite. Dirty Sprite 2 is what you put. DS2. Yeah, not everybody's built for it. Not everybody is able to really understand Dirty Sprite 2. It's like kind of.
He really developed all the concepts he was working on in Dirty Sprite 1. He really,
Yeah.
really, yeah. Really,
It's a Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2 situation, where it's like it's the perfect distillation.
maybe an amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 situation.
How dare you?
Yeah, it's a really Andrew Garfield.
For
his
you. Yeah, no, it's no, it's, not everybody's built for it. That's all. Some people just can't handle it.
He hates me. He's using me.
Pharrell anyway, back to this show.
Yes. They were very smart and oh yeah, Aki, it's time for Aki's used up his like previous 2 contracts pretty much. So he needs a new one. So he's lost like all his powers. He has 2 years to live. And the one girl that he cared about, who was kind of his mentor, gave her life for him in front of his eyes and disappeared and died. And what they do to this poor guy is they introduce him to the future devil, who is like a gay Dark Souls boss, and it's one of the funniest but also most sadistic things I've seen in a while, to like put this dude who has nothing to live for anymore and is just willing to fight until he dies. Like you really feel it. It really does like a good job of like making you feel it's like, look, I'm just here to kill this one thing. I have no time left on this earth.
Then I'm out.
I'm out. Like nothing matters anymore. And then they put him in front of the future demon, and you're like, oh shit, this has got to be so scary because the future is so scary to so many people. And the future devil is like, ooh, I love the future. Oh yeah. It's just like, god damn, that is a fucking hilarious choice. It's so mean. And like, it's so evil to do this to this dude, but man,
you see him. Do you see him dancing in the opening the entire time?
Yeah,
you're like, when the fuck does this guy show up? That's a lot of how the opening works. Actually, it's like there's a lot of stuff in there where the more context you get for, you're like, god damn.
Yeah, it's really good. And
Aki is such a great foil for Denji. We're like,
honestly, I think Aki almost ends up being the main character for this first season. Because Denji,
I agree.
He doesn't have we focus on him for the first few 5 episodes, but he doesn't have enough going on yet because he's so simple. He's such a simpleton. He's literally like underdeveloped. Like he's like as a person, he's underdeveloped.
Completely uneducated and like
yeah, he's like a forest. He's like a jungle boy. He's like Tom Cruise in Legend.
Yeah, exactly what I was gonna say. Is like Legend. Yeah.
yeah. He should be wearing a loincloth. And so yeah, Aki is like kind of our more human. Like, how would an actual person like respond to this? So he's like, yeah, he's the more relatable one. And then he gets the future devil. Who just agrees to hang out with him because he's like, you're gonna die in a really fucked up way.
Busted. Your shit's so busted. I can't take anything from you.
Yeah.
I gotta be there to see it. Yeah.
And
Final arc we kind of get into
yeah,
here.
the last couple episodes here, Maki talks to the Yakuza. And if you thought she just couldn't get even more fucked up, she's bringing people bags of eyeballs. Now it's like, what the fuck, man? This is something I was thinking about. It's like they're really not going about this in a very smart way, because the gun devil is very strong because people are afraid of guns, right? Wouldn't you, like, if you were like a crime fighting organization with like
Which
money
I am.
and power and connections, which you are secretly, wouldn't you like bribe the owners of ammo manufacturers to like make all ammunition on the planet like stop working so that no one can use guns anymore, so that no one's afraid of guns anymore?
The gun devil provides them ammo. They cover this.
He just makes it? Damn.
Yes. Yep. He
I
manifests the ammo.
thought he brings it to them. I thought it was still like made in a normal way. Shit.
Nope. This is in the way that Power is able to make hammers out of blood. He is able to provide them ammo. Yeah.
Okay, so he's just pooping out the guns. Damn, I thought I was being smart.
No, you're dumber than this show.
Yeah, I'm dumber than a show called Chainsaw Man. I can't outthink a show called Chainsaw Man where a guy turns into a chainsaw.
You've spent like 110 episodes of an anime podcast. I tried to dissect things, and you were bested by this. You were bested by a show where the main character's motivation is that he wants to touch boobs.
Yeah, it's we are talking very seriously about this. Is an impressive feat, is that we're talking this much about a show where it's the guy turns into a chainsaw and he wants to touch boobs. So that's they're really it's that's probably kind of an intentional
it's
thing,
great
is to really do as much as possible with concepts this stupid, you know.
Yeah, they show. I mean, they know what they're doing. It's like maybe the Chuny slider is a little further than I'd want, to where like I think it maybe gets in the way of my ability to take it seriously, but it's saying stuff. Like, it clearly has things that it wants to say. It clearly has greater themes, and it just happens to be expressing them through this extremely stupid lens.
Yeah, which I like.
That's why we do an anime podcast.
Yes. We get a lot of the other agents with powers. So they got fucking Shark Boy. This is when I was like, wait, I thought it was like unusual to have devil powers, but no, they got Shark Boy, they got Spider Girl, they got the Spider Girl from Wicked City. Everyone was acting like they had never heard of this type of thing, you know, in the beginning. But like we said earlier, like maybe the mangaka changed his mind. He was like, we need some crazier stuff in here.
I didn't like the Spider Girl. She was scary.
Too many pussies.
That's not what scares me.
No, is it the mandibles?
No, it's too many legs to cut off.
Oh, for the blender. Yeah.
Exactly.
Episode 12 is the last episode, and Aki is fighting the blonde lady who killed Himeno, who has the crazy snake devil, and also stole Himeno's ghost devil. So she's got two now, and the ghost devil, it does this thing where it holds out its like closed fist to him, like palm facing up, and I was like, oh, just flip him the bird. Do it. Do it. I was hoping it was just gonna put its middle finger up. They're all fiends, not hybrids. Like, are they all fiends?
I guess they're like, they're more like Power than they are like Denji.
But like Aki is not a fiend. He has a contract.
No, he has a contract. He has a contract. I think these people are possessed by these devils.
Okay.
whereas Denji is not possessed. He is imbued with the power of the chainsaw dog.
Right.
Which is a sentence you could say while talking about the show.
less regen, less body manipulation, etc. I don't know. Turning yourself into a shark is pretty strong body manipulation. But yeah, okay. So they're okay.
No,
being
you're,
fiends
it's
makes
not there.
more
They
sense.
can't twerk. Is the thing. They can't twerk. They can't ride the pole like that. They can't
Yeah.
flip it down and reverse it.
No ear gauges. Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah. No big neck extensions.
No
with those
BBLs.
rings.
Yeah. Absolutely no BBLs.
None of those things where you extend your lip with that sort of puck-looking thing.
No,
none of that.
None of the African neck rings. None of that.
No.
Staying pure and true.
Yeah. No, not dyeing your eyeballs.
Yeah. Nope.
These
and-
people could be buried in a Jewish cemetery. Is the point?
Yeah. As I hope I will one day.
I'll make sure of it.
Yeah. Soon. Without a grave. Yeah, he did I get a screenshot of this? The cigarette has writing on it and it says Easy Revenge, and I was like, damn, you think this guy's a fan of Fooly Cooley? What are we thinking, folks? Think he's seen it? But yeah, he beats that thing and that lady, and then Chainsaw Man beats Sword Man, and then at the end, the blonde girl gets snaked by her own snake. So we don't learn anything from her about who her boss was. It's probably Makima or something. I don't know.
I'd get the fuck out of Japan. I would get the fuck out of here. I would go live in a remote island somewhere. This sucks. I don't want any piece of this world at all.
Yeah, all this is it's a bad world to be in. Yeah, the thing with Dejima is he has no idea of what life is or what he wants to do or how to do it, and he also has no money. And also the mob still hates him, and also his own company still hates him.
Yeah, if he leaves, he'll die. He doesn't know any better. Everybody else will kill him. He has no choice but to keep going.
Many tits and pussies.
And he's stupid. My understanding about this is that the manga ends up becoming about Denji basically being so obsessed with having sex that it completely ruins his life. Like he makes a bunch of bad decisions based on the idea of getting pussy, and every new character is basically in to just tempt him further and further and make him make worse and worse decisions off of getting cooter.
Yeah, so. The upcoming movie is called I think Reze arc, which apparently involves a character named Reze, who is voiced by I don't know, some sexy. Oh, it's Reina Ueda, but yeah, it's probably more bad decisions incoming from Reze. If the whole arc's named after her and she's a girl, it's probably bad. It's probably going to be bad things happening to him.
Yep. So far, his track record is not great. So, yeah. I really enjoyed this first season. It's very watchable. It doesn't raise to a level of being like something truly exceptional, but it's very good. And I was thoroughly entertained by it the entire time. And if that's what you're looking for, you're going to find it here.
Yeah, it is an action show with insane production value, and preposterous amount of effort put into it for something that probably would have been pretty successful either way because it's a popular manga.
The story is just enough going on between the ears as well. It's like it's just well enough written to where like it's not insulting your intelligence. The characters feel pretty well fleshed out, and like I understand all of them as being distinct characters, and none of them just fall into being like generic archetypes, which is great. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so now what, man? This is the last episode before for the boys are gonna be in town. We're all gonna
Boys
be,
are back in
gonna
town,
be
baby.
together. So you're gonna get might be getting some content. Who knows?
I mean, we'll at least be
Say.
doing the season preview soon. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. What is
Sweet.
What the fuck's going on in summer? Did we already do this? Did we already go over the show?
I don't think we. No, we did because we were going over what is going to be, unfortunately, the worst season ever. This is
because we're gonna be together.
no,
We're gonna get through it
no.
together.
That's true.
and-
We will be able to cope because we will be amongst our best buddies. But
Yes.
this is unfortunately going to be the worst season.
I mean, there's a bowling show, Turkey.
I made a pact. I forgot to tell you this. I made a contract with the devil to have the last. I gave up half of my lifespan so that the last season would be good. And I think
in exchange you just made the next season bad. This doesn't seem like a very good trade-off.
I didn't negotiate very well. I didn't come up with a great idea of what I wanted in terms of terms, but I probably could have gotten away with a third of my life, and next season being kind of decent, like okay. But I folded. I folded under pressure. I just don't have the eye of the tiger in that regard. I don't have what it takes.
We need to do a seasonal preview, like one of those episodes we did a long time ago, where where it's by a campfire, but it's by my campfire with a giant fire pit, and it's like when it's roaring and like 30 feet in the air, we're just talking about the shows, and it's like impossible to hear us over the roar of the flames. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Strap in. Worst season ever coming up.
Yes, I have no outro.
I'm gonna play the same thing again.
Yeah.
Here, let me search new Indian music on YouTube. Let's see.
It's what we're all going to be listening to one day.
I hope so.
I hope so.
How about extremely loud Indian music?
It
that's
better
not
be pretty fucking loud, because otherwise I'm going to be upset.
It's all shorts. It's all shorts now. It's all shorts. It's all shorts.
What's
The world is all shorts. Every piece of media is now 10 seconds long.
What's that? Songs by AI, beats by AI. What's that been doing? What are we thinking? My body's a prison. Watering the
That's pretty good.
crops. The daddy that stepped up.
How about nonstop Love is Pain, heartbreaking Hindi song, new sad song 2025.
New sad song 20.
Well, Love is Pain. That's basically what this show is about. I think this is perfect.
That sounds like a perfect thematic match to this show.
There's
that we
probably a
watched.
licensed piece of music here.
This sounds real, like real music. Oh yeah. I believe this is AI generated.
From AED.
This is big and not bad ED. This is not bad. I like that it's non-stop Love is Pain. All right. Thanks everybody. Bye-bye.
Keep it in your pants.
तुम्हारी बन जाती है ये सिर्फ मेरा पागलपन है या तुम भी मेरे लिए पागल थी रास्ते में गम मिल गया था लग के गले में रो दिया जो सिर्फ मेरा था सिर्फ मेरा मैंने उसे क्यों खो दिया हाँ वो आंखें जिन्हें मैं चूमता था बेवजह प्यार मेरे लिए क्यों उनमें बाकी ना रहा हो है तो मेरी सांसें चले, बता दे कैसे मैं जीऊंगा तेरे बिना।